Well, he's starting to move pretty well this season, though. He's had 2 fourth places, and it looks good for him. Over the years that I've been at this course and watching these races, though, Tim, this course has got the tendency to yield surprise finishers. This flat up at the top gets a lot faster as the race goes on. We'll see if it does today.
He's a little slow off the top. See how he handles the pitch here. He's 5/10 behind, starting down it.
Really got to be able to throw your body down the fall line here, but keep the skis on the ground. Bardoni is losing his ski. A lot of vertical movement in between the turns.
Bardoni getting a little bit late on the steep pitch. Look at that one there.
You know, so many of the guys, the snow is not icy. It wasn't injected. It was perfect conditions. Many of the racers getting so much action on their skis that they're really getting catapulted, vaulted from gate to gate.
He's 6/10 out here behind the leader, Eberharder. Pushing down through these bottom gates now to the finish line, Bardoni of Italy. Coming to the line, the Italian is into second place, but 7/10 behind. Whoa, does he crash into that padding right there at the end of the outrun? And he might have hurt himself. He did. Holding that leg, Max Bardoni.
Tim, the run is never over until you're fully stopped. I've seen racers on the World Cup before being injured down here in the bottom. Especially when you're going 50 miles an hour into the finish. He tried to get a look at his time over there. That's what he was looking at. But you can see his left ski just chattered, came up and hit him right above the boot top. As a matter of fact, there you can see the mark. He's torn his suit right there where the edge has bitten his leg.
Well, he's standing in second place with a pretty decent run. We'll have to just see if he can continue here for the second run.
He's going to have a nasty bruise there, that's for sure.
Up on his feet and pushing off, but he looks like he's still in some pain.
I'm just going to stretch. I'll grab some.
You're looking at American Eric Schlope. He knows this hill well. He's from Park City, and he's yet to come.
The days of the Olympic Winter Games. Day 14, created by the world, brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Bonjour.
Congratulations.
Merci. Congratulations to you too.
What did I win?
Okay.
What's Montclair mean? What's Montclair mean? Does anybody speak French? Did she just ask me out?
Some kid is starting a pizza company using quality ingredients. I'm so scared.
17 years ago, we started with a simple idea. Better ingredients, better pizza. And to celebrate our 17th anniversary, we're offering you 2 large, 1-topping pizzas for only $12.99.
This race brought to you by Visa, the official card of the NFL, and the only card accepted at the Olympic Games. And the Visa Triple Crown. Almost forgot. We're also the official card of NASCAR. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Introducing the tough, versatile Saturn Vue. At home in almost any environment.
You're just begging for heartburn, aren't you? Here, Norman turned me on to Pepsi Complete. But lasts like those. Just one controls acid all day. Where are you going?
Sausages, anyone? Pepsi Complete. Just one, and heartburn's done.
The romance, the beauty, the world of Ralph Lauren. Polo.com.
Cable coverage from Salt Lake begins at 1 Eastern on MSNBC. Then at 2 p.m. live, it's the first men's hockey semifinal. Mario Lemieux, trying to fill the lone void in his collection of hockey hardware, leads Canada without an Olympic title in 5 decades against surprising Belarus. Then at 6 Eastern, the U.S. renews its rivalry with Russia on the 22-year anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. When they met here on Saturday, it took a late goal from Brett Hull for Team USA to earn a tie. This time, there must be a winner. It's the Final Four of a dream tournament, the men's hockey semifinals, tomorrow on the NBC cable networks.
Back at the men's giant slalom, Stefan Eberharder holding the lead here on the first run by 7/10. The word on Blardoni from Kristen Cooper. He has a bruised right calf. He'll be ready to go in the second run. Now in the start house, Lasse Kjus, the 31-year-old from Sigerud, Norway, has a silver in the downhill here, a 4th in the combined. Didn't make it through the Super G with a very aggressive run. Let's see what he can do in the GS.
Lasse is just so amazing in his career. He's won 14 World Cup races, but only one giant slalom. Tim, I have the feeling this man knows how to pace himself. He rations his energy and his strength, and then he performs in the big events.
9 100s behind off that top pitch. So he's got a good start here. Down he goes in this middle section.
The last couple of years, he's been skiing with a bronchial infection that's kept him out of many races. He said he didn't have much strength, gained a lot of weight, but this year he is in top condition, I guarantee you. It looks like he's lost about 20 pounds.
You know what he plans to do next? He wants to skipper a sailboat in the European Championships. That's his plan. So he's not just a skier, he's also now a sailor. 4/10 back is Kjus. First run of 2 for the Norwegian.
He is just so strong. This kind of snow accepts an edge so easily. If he's going to have a problem, it's overpowering this course. So solid.
Smooth down here on the bottom, almost deliberate. And he's into 3rd place, 8/10 back. Lasse Kjus. Well, Park City racing fans are looking forward now to watching their local favorite, Buffalo-born Eric Schlope, who's had quite an odyssey back to the U.S. ski team. He was 3rd in the GS last year, has struggled some this season.
Well, I mean, I think my story is very unique. In 19, I won 2 national championships, and I was off like a rocket. In the beginning of the next season, I broke my back at the World Championships in '93. After that, my passion for ski racing was lost. I needed something to change.
Come on, come on.
The only thing I could do, in my opinion, was something that had never been done before, and that was go to the Pro Tour with the outlook that I wanted to use it as a springboard to come back as a better ski racer, which in the ski world was a crazy thing to do. It was a huge struggle on the Pro Tour because nothing's taken care of. You have to be your own coach, you have to be your own technician, your own travel agent, and when I came back, I looked at the big picture and, what is it that was missing the first time around?
We're traveling all over Europe and having that feeling of comfort to be able to go home every week.
So to me, it was a clear answer, and that was get a house in Europe. The house that Bodie and I rent, there's only about 100 people in the whole town. It's called Tolder, and it's a little farmhouse, and traditional Austrian farmhouse means that the animals and the people live under one roof. So we're sharing a roof with 5 cows, a couple goats, a big pig, some chickens, and it's a great experience. It's definitely not your average ski racing story, but it was a struggle, and I learned a lot, and lessons that'll take me beyond ski racing. Lessons that I learned that'll last me a lifetime.
Well, he's got a lot of local support. His mom and his sister, there's mom, his sister Carrie was an NCAA ski champion, and both of them were torchbearers here as the torch made its way to Salt Lake City for these games.
What a lot of people don't know is that after Eric Schlope raced the 3 years of the U.S. Pro Tour, the U.S. team didn't just give him a free ride back. He had to start right at the back of the pack with 0 points and work his way up. So that in itself is just a tremendous accomplishment to have gotten to where he is right now.
Well, we mentioned last year he was third in the GS ranking. That was the best in a long time for the U.S. But this year has been all kinds of problems. His best result, 22nd in giant slalom. He's already 3/10 back off the top. Whoa, trouble there.
That was a huge mistake right in there. Tell you, those 4 or 5 turns right in there, that's going to make or break your run in this course today.
Oh, he's way off the course. He's way off the course. He missed the gate slope. He's going to have to hike back up. And he's going to do it to get back into the race.
Well, this has certainly been a tough season for him. And you know, he hasn't had the results this season to really back up a load of confidence to take into this big event. Very much like Karen Rolfs. The guy wants to win a gold medal, and he knows he has the talent to go for it. But if you don't have the results, you just don't have the confidence.
But he's obviously no longer a medal contender if he was one at all, but 12 seconds and more back for Eric Schlope.
Even the season didn't start off too well for him. He missed about 6 weeks of intensive prep time in the fall. Just had no energy at all. He found out in December that he had mononucleosis since August.
It's been a struggle for him all year long, and over that finish line, 18th place for Eric Schlope, and a disappointing day, a disappointing season for this local favorite here. Resident of Park City who has friends and family here to cheer him on, all for naught. So the standings after run number 1, Aberhart the favorite on top by 7/10. Down there in 7th place, Bodie Miller, almost a second back.
So, as Tim said, halfway through the giant slalom, Bodie Miller stood in 7th place. We'll have the second run in a few minutes, and we're back to Salt Lake City right after this.
Our dad's gonna build us the coolest treehouse. Cool. Yeah, he can build anything.
I'm in trouble here.
May I help you?
Yeah.
He can do that? Yeah, he can do that.
I don't have a clue what I'm doing here.
Well, let's see what you got.
He can build anything.
Never built anything before.
Well, relax. I think you're in the right spot.
He wants a trap door, a ladder.
Balcony, rope swing.
And these are the hinges you're going to need. I'm going to suggest 16 penny. Do you have a hammer?
No. Is that a bad thing?
He has about like 10 salts.
7.5 pounds. Feel it. It's really easy.
You sure I can do this?
He's a genius.
Trust me.
All right.
Dad?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm every man.
And every woman who ever suffered from frequent, persistent heartburn.
If you've treated your heartburn and changed your diet, but it comes back 2 or more days a week, then you may know about the burning pain of acid reflux disease.
But there's something about acid reflux that I didn't know.
Over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't.
But today, there's a purple pill called Nexium. It's from the makers of Prilosec. Just 1 prescription Nexium a day gives many people complete resolution of heartburn symptoms.
That could mean complete heartburn relief.
And importantly, Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can determine if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. So talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and for a free trial certificate for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with today's purple pill called Nexium.
Go for the goal. They're in our house, boys. For a big game out there. Big one. We go get them. Red, white, blue.
Yep, got them all.
Chevrolet sponsors the 2002 U.S. Olympic team all year long. And it shows.
Hey, good job.
All right, just zoom right in on Chelios. Yeah, ooh, that's great.
Chevy, day in, day out, we'll be there.
Chevrolet, proud sponsor of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team, presents Chevrolet Olympic Moments.
Which brings us to our nightly visit with Jimmy Roberts. And as we talked about last night, Jimmy, the U.S. team is having unprecedented success at these Winter Games, record numbers of medals, and impressive overall depth.
Absolutely, Bob. So it should surprise absolutely no one that the country fielding the largest team here in Salt Lake is
the United States, which brought 211 athletes. And if you saw the opening ceremony, you know that so many of them, individual athletes, reveled in the opportunity to rub shoulders with their teammates, simply to have teammates. Now, we tell you this to make a point, not about the largest team, but about the smallest team, or teams. 11 countries have sent delegations here that consist of one single athlete. And for them, the brotherhood they see all around them is something they can only dream about. For them, one truly is the loneliest number. It's not the destination, it's the journey. A medal is the dream, but it doesn't define the experience. To be part of something. So many walk away from these games remembering most that they were part of something, an experience, a team, an Olympic team. There are those who stand out in the crowd, and then there are those who simply stand alone. Prawat Nagbajara was born in Thailand, where skiing is something you simply read about. But in the American Northeast, where he went to school and still lives and teaches, it is something people do, year-round. And so he learns. The uniform he has so proudly worn the last 2 weeks, he got at Nordstrom's. Thailand had never been to the Winter Games before. At 43, he is the oldest cross-country competitor, but this is no stunt. He is Thailand's team. Nagbajara was at first excluded from the 30-kilometer race, for which he came, and then at the last minute, allowed in. But it was too late. The sudden timing left him unprepared. He collapsed in a heap as he was lapped by the leaders, and by the rules, was pulled from the race. They know that this is the type of lonely fate which awaits them. They are 11 in all, countries of one, alone with themselves. They ski cross-country for Cameroon and Costa Rica. They ride the luge for Bermuda and India. They are alpine specialists, teams of one from Fiji, South Africa, and from Cyprus. They are an unlikely collection, alone in the crowd, teams of one for whom these games will never be about the destination and always be about the journey. Jairam Khadka knows about the journey. He was raised in a poor Himalayan village. 17 years ago, his father Basu trekked 60 miles through the mountains to save the life of a man he found injured nearby. After Basu's death, the man came back and adopted Basu's boy. It was, says Richard Morley, a debt of gratitude. The wealthy Englishman raised Khadka and introduced him to his love of the mountains. They have made it all the way here. Alone, together, Jay, Nepal's only athlete, and Morley paying tribute to the journey and the man who once saved his life. Basu would have been proud. His boy competed in the sprint qualifying. He finished last and triumphant. They stand out from the crowd, not only because there is no crowd from which they can stand out, but also because they came here understanding that it's not about the destination. And Bob, of all the single athlete nations so far, India with the best mark, the luger in the men's competition, Shiva Keshavan, finished 33rd, but there are a couple of days left.
Second most populous nation on Earth, one athlete here in Salt Lake. We come back to the 19th Olympic Winter Games right after this. Thanks, Jimmy.
Chevrolet, proud sponsor of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team.
Get set, because Sunday, the real party begins. The closing ceremony, featuring live performances by Christina Aguilera, NSYNC, Bon Jovi, and many more. So join the party. Celebrate the moments that have brought the world together. The closing ceremony of the Winter Olympics. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, only on NBC.
I'm News 4's Chief Meteorologist John Sesrich. Come ride with me in Sky 4 and I'll show you how we give you the edge on the weather. Unlike the other TV stations, we have our own Doppler radar located here on I-85, feeding back live information to the News 4 Weather Center. While other stations show you where the storm was, Live Super Doppler shows you where the storm is now, up to 15 minutes faster.
The 15-minute edge of Live Super Doppler and meteorologists with years of upstate experience only on WYFF News 4. Live, local, breaking news.
Greenville Hospital Mercy Department, Bay Trans 1 helicopter, over.
Memorial, copy.
Roger, we're currently inbound to your hospital with a 30-year-old male involved in a motor vehicle collision.
Hi, sir. My name is Linda, and you're at Greenville Memorial Hospital.
I'm Eric. I'm one of the nurses here. We're going to take you to our chest pain center. We're going to take good care of you there. We're going to do an electrocardiogram of your heart. We're going to start another IV. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad you
Well, we have a 30-year-old male patient that was involved in a car accident with chest pain, but is now stable.
Sir, I'm going to get another IV started on you, okay?
Sir, my name's Michelle. I'm going to put you on the heart monitor and do an EKG.
Hey, John, I'm Dr. Lutz. Tell me what happened to you. Do you remember? All right, John. Things sound good. We'll take good care of you, I promise.
Okay.
Coming to NBC in May, the Visa Triple Crown, only on NBC.
I would say pretty close to all out's how I ski. It just seems like, to me, the most honest way to do it. And my style, definitely not normal. When I'm skiing my fastest, it looks different. I would say I pretty much go for
it. Back here in Park City, run number 2 coming up in the men's giant slalom. Standings after the first run. Stefan Eberharder of Austria leading by 7/10 over Blardoni of Italy. Down there in 7th place, Bodie Miller. He's almost a second back. He's got lots of fans here to cheer him on here in run number 2. Perfect conditions, they're excited. The racers are excited. The men's giant slalom gold medal at stake. Party atmosphere here before the second run. Stefan Eberharder with a 7/10 of a second lead. American Bodie Miller almost a second back.
Tim, a lot of people here in between the runs are saying, what's the matter with Bodie Miller? He's only in 7th place. But you got to remember, he started number 1. There was a lot of unknowns, like the speed, the snow, and definitely he was trying to take it easy and feel out this hill. The thing with Bodie, though, he's got room to move, and I think he will in the second run. When you look at Eberharder, though, he was going 100%. He had a perfect first run. He's going to need a perfect one to win this race in the second.
Perfect conditions. Let's see what happens.
Bodie Miller standing like a statue in the start, but you know what? One of the reasons why he's so calm and confident while this crowd is in a frenzy down here in the finish is because he knows that he's only less than 2/10 of a second out of the silver medal position. I think the silver is well within his reach.
Go, 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 go! And in skiing, it's not his strength so far. He'd like it to be, and he thinks he can medal here.
Bodie Miller is not only tremendously well-known and well-loved here in the United States, but they love him in Austria, too. I was in Kitzbühel this year with 76 Olympic champion Franz Klaver, and he was signing autographs for people. Bodie Miller came out of the finish, and all of a sudden he was mobbed. They just love him over there, and nobody knows the ski racing better than they do.
He's got a good run going here, much more aggressive than in the first run. Miller down on this first pitch, approaching the bottom of it, coming to the steepest part of the hill. 1,700s ahead of the leader.
And you know what I like this time? He's just diving into the turns. Remember the first run, there was a little bit of slide right at the top of the turn. Not this time. He's taking way more risk.
That time is the total of the first run and the second run to this part of the course. Bodie Miller's letting them fly down here at the bottom. Remember the top 15 of reverse from run number 1. So the best ones are still to come. Miller down to the line. Into first place by more than 3/10. Will that be good enough for a medal? Well, that crowd thinks so. Bodie looks pleased with it as well.
And a racer's immediate reaction when they get into the finish never lies. Bodie broke into a smile, which means he found the feeling, and he skied the way he thinks he had to in the second run. One thing I like, too, is he didn't slide at the beginning of his turns. He laid on his edges nice and slowly, built a perfect platform, lots of power. Watch his right ski here. You don't see any snow coming off it from the tip at the beginning of the turn, and that's the key right there. That's how you maintain speed and build it through the turns. As far as I'm concerned, Bodie hit a perfect one. That's exactly how you do it.
Well, he also knows that he was almost a second behind Eberhard, who's still to come, of course. He'll be the last down, and other contenders. This is young Alexander Ploner from this kid. He's only 23 years old.
Ploner was really only called up to the World Cup in the last 2 races of the season. Unlike the Austrian team that has so many strong skiers that are fighting for the 4 spots in the Olympics, the Italian team is weak.
Down onto the pitch he comes. Ploner, oh, what a crack! Ploner right into that panel. It was just over the lip at the top of the first pitch. Everything came off there, a ski, a pole. He took the panel right out, and he's right back on his feet unhurt.
A total yard sale, and that's the difficulty of this hill. A lot of people say, oh, it's flat at the top, but it's tough because when you come off that flat pitch onto the steep, you got to get forward. You got to get your ski to bite, and that's exactly what Ploner didn't do.
Man, what a cartwheel after the collision with the gate panel.
This has always been a tough hill to race in World Cup. Things just haven't changed. That is a critical section. It always will be.
So Bodie Miller holding the lead, knowing the big guys from the first run are still to come.
Here's tonight's winner of a complete digital camera package from Kodak. For your last chance to win a lifetime of trips in the AT&T Perform Without Limit sweepstakes, log on to NBCOlympics.com.
Hey, what do you think of this new Pontiac?
Live GT. That's pretty cool. Why are you playing guitar in front of the car?
The amp plugs into the car because it's got a...
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Plugs right in there.
Oh, wow. My band could go on tour in this because we could just plug in.
Did you play guitar?
I play drums.
Can you do a drum beat on the car? Meet the new Pontiac 5.
Thank you.
Need to link up your design team to Taichung with your plant in Nevada? Want to let the back office in Baden-Baden? Share apps with your techies in Tokyo and suppliers in Soho, all aboard the AT&T Global Network. Real-time connectivity, no assembly required.
Hide, seek, peek, chase,
Pounce.
frolic, flirt,
Wink.
rub-a-dub, pinch, squeeze, tease,
Indulge.
Nuzzle.
laugh,
Tickle.
tickle.
You get a good feeling from great taste without the calories. Do something with it. Diet Coke. Do what feels good.
No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man's joy is joy to me. Each man's grief is my own. When I help my brother, then I know that I plant the seed of friendship that will never die. I saw the people gather. I heard the music start. The song that they were singing is ringing in my heart. We need one another, so I will defend each man as my brother, each man as my friend.
Leading the race at this stage of the second run of 2 here in the giant slalom, Bodie Miller from Franconia, New Hampshire. And he'll wait and watch anxiously up the hill as there are contenders still to come, and among them Benjamin Reich. He was 5th after the first run, the 23-year-old from Innsbruck. Much like Bodie Miller, bold, daring.
That's what they're thinking about across this class, and there they dive down.
Reich from a town called Pitztal, just outside of Innsbruck. He's known as the Blitz from Pitts there. And he watched Alberto Tomba win gold in giant slalom and slalom at Calgary in 1988 and said, that's who I want to be. I want to be on that podium just like him. There's the time to beat through this split, the total time of the first run, and to here he's 2,500 behind. Oh, this is good for Bodie.
You see that downhill ski rattle? It is chattering out, and every time it does, it's slowing down his momentum. That's where Bodie Miller was so smooth in there. That's where he got on that edge early and started letting it rip.
Losing more time. He's more than a half second back. Middle of the leader at the bottom. Benjamin Wright working the bottom pitch now. Can he make it up?
Sometimes you push just too hard. I think that's what's happened.
It has. He's in the second place. Over 2/10 back of Bodie Miller. Benjamin Wright, you can see the disappointment there. So the young Austrian, unable to catch the leader, Bodie Miller. Now it's the Norwegian veteran, Lasse Kjus, in the start house. From a 23-year-old to a 31-year-old, he's been here before. He's already won silver in the downhill event at these games, but he missed a gate in the Super G, and he's still mad about it.
Well, no question. You don't usually see him angry in the start, but a difficult course set over there in the Super G. And just like Stefan Eberharder, he felt like he got some wrong information, and he ended up missing a gate in an event he felt he could medal in.
Right, giant slalom is not his best event. He's only 24th so far in the standings this year, but one of the great competitors of all time. He has skied all events with success in the past, and he's 2,500s ahead.
Also skied this course very well. He came off the upper flats in the first run so fast. He did here as well. So powerful and strong. I mean, he just eases into these turns on the pitch.
That's Bodie Miller's time to beat on the left there through this split. And he is 1/100th behind Bodie Miller.
That means he's lost a lot of time. You know, sometimes when a guy is this strong and they're not skiing on ice, he over edges. He uses too much power in the turns. I think that's what's happening here. He's trying to hang on to the line a little bit too long, and he's losing speed.
Lasse Kjus, the great Norwegian. You saw the stadium, 25,000 people waiting at the bottom. Most of them don't want him to be faster, and he isn't. He's in the second place. And there's Bodie Miller. He's got at least a bronze medal. 2 racers to come. There's his mom, Joe, and all of the friends and family. Imagine that, Bodie Miller with another medal. It could be more. It depends on the final 2 racers. Blardoni and Eberharder still to come.
NBC's coverage of the 19th Olympic Winter Games is brought to you by the all-new 2002 Buick Rendezvous. It's all good. By Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength. By the Home Depot, proud sponsor of the Salt Lake 2002 Olympic Winter Games. And by Warner Brothers' new motion picture, Murder by Numbers. In theaters everywhere starting Friday, April 19th.
One cannot live fully without embracing crime.
Welcome to homicide.
Planning. Given the sloppy nature of the crime scene, they'll have their work cut out for them.
Pretty good fight. Good for you.
Taunting. I'm gonna cooperate any way that I can.
Really?
He doesn't fit the profile.
Yeah, the profile doesn't fit the profile.
Taking control.
I think these kids did this. I think they're not even hiding it, and I think they want us to know.
Sandra Bullock, Murder by Numbers. This film is not yet rated. Starts Friday, April 19th at a theater near you.
Moo. Gateway's Gold Medal Savings event is in full effect, so come into a Gateway store and talk to one of our friendly computer experts about our incredible deals, like the Gateway 500 SE. It's got an Intel Pentium 4 processor, a CD burner, and a large monitor, all for only $7.99. Just stop by your local Gateway store or call 1-800-GATEWAY and check out the Gold Medal Savings event today. That's 1-800-GATEWAY.
Day 15, just 900 feet from the summit.
Day 15.
Where's he going?
Oh, hey, guys. Just gonna mail my credit card payment.
You mean you don't have a Capital One, no hassle card?
Want a choice of payment dates? Try Capital One's No Hassle Card. Plus, get the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates and no telemarketing.
What's in your wallet?
I see a lot of things in here that most people don't. But I've seen a lot of miracles, too.
Here in the ER, critical decisions are made every minute. But for pain management, the choice is clear. Tylenol. It's the first choice of emergency rooms nationwide. Not Advil, not Aleve, Tylenol.
When the stakes are high, you bring them here.
Tylenol. More emergency rooms take comfort in our strength.
It's a boy.
The roominess of a minivan. Capabilities of an SUV. Buick Rendezvous.
I love this town.
There is our leader here at Park City, American Bodie Miller, waiting to see what color his medal will be. 2 racers to follow. Lardoni and Eberharder. The Italian hurt his right leg when he crashed at the bottom of his run in his first trip down the hill today.
22 been on the podium in World Cup ski racing. I tell you, there's no way that he's not feeling the pressure of Team Italy's medal hopes resting on his shoulders right now.
Off that top flat, heading down onto the first pitch. Here it is. Problems for some skiers earlier in this race. 4/10 behind.
Tim, he's lost a lot of time already, and if you're nervous, you got too much going on inside your helmet, you lose the ability to monitor and analyze your run and make adjustments on the way down, and that's exactly what's happening to him.
Lardoni of Italy. Bodie Miller waiting at the bottom to see whether he can move up, and he may. He's now 6/10 behind, almost 7.
When you're nervous, you also ski with your eyes bugged out. It feels like you're going warp 1 on the way down. He doesn't have any feeling for his skis.
And he's losing even more time, almost 8/10 back. He was second in the first run, remember, trying to stay in the medal picture here. Bodie Miller can move up to silver, at least. Lardoni down through the final gates. The crowd watching the clock as much as him, and he's well back. Into 7th place, Lardoni of Italy, out of the medals. Bodie Miller is at least silver for sure. His mom, Jo, enjoying that. 1 racer to come. Miller acknowledging the crowd. He's got 2 silvers at least. Here is Stefan Eberharder in the start house, the Austrian. First in the first run, and so last in this run.
Confidence.
And he was fast off the top flat again, adding to his lead.
Once again, taking the...
Eberharder had to battle get into the first seed, the top group of GS skiers this year. He's lost a little time there, but he's got a chance for gold in the giant slalom here.
Look at him down here.
Well, this is where he can really let him run. Eberharder, the great downhiller, pushing into the line, and into first place. He picked up a half a second on the bottom flat. Eberharder of Austria. And he becomes only the 5th man to win 3 medals in the same games. And the color this time is gold. Applause from Bodie Miller, who's got to be thrilled with his silver. Eberharder looks almost relieved. He's got his Olympic gold.
And what an accomplishment for a guy who's come back not only from injury, but being thrown off the Austrian team in 1996. The embarrassment of racing on the Europa Cup for 1 year. In this run, he is staring down the gates, every one of them. In fact, he's so early, if he stepped on his edge there, he'd be well inside the gate. He has to wait, be patient, and then jam the edges and use his power. But he is just fighting this hill. He's not just trying to sit back in the lead that he already had. He's trying to build on it. That shows the class of a man that's got so much experience in the World Cup, and he's using every bit of it.
And at 33, Eberharder becomes the oldest